Blood, the lifeline of life. Without it, you'd be dead. I have a slight confession to make. The blood sample I actually used was from a spot on my arm, which passed out a little bit, which makes this sample absolutely perfect for examining here. So, let's take a look at my blood. Hope I'm healthy. If you didn't know already, one of the main functions of blood is to carry and supply oxygen everywhere in your human meaty sack. Ooh, that didn't sound good, did it? This is my blood under the microscope. But before we dive into a few things, let's go back in time a little bit to the first person that described blood circulation. His name was William Harvey. Back in 1628, just before all of that American Revolution stuff started kicking off, which got a bit hairy there for a while. But when they were done with all that, they got on and did the first ever blood transfusion. You would think the first blood transfusion was done between two humans, but in fact, it was actually done between two dogs. Woof woof. Fast forwarding 308 years, we get to the first blood bank that was ever opened in Chicago in 1936. And since then, people all around the globe have been donating blood every year. Unfortunately, blood doesn't last very long outside the body. In fact, around 1.3 million pints of blood donated every year is wasted, because blood can only be stored for 42 days outside the human body. Now let's get back to the future. So, what the hell are we looking at here anyway? By the way, if anyone spots anything abnormal like, say, Elon Musk tracker, as I have had both my jabs, please comment and let me know below. And subscribe while you're down there. It's only one press of a button. I know you've got it in you. As we look through my blood, we should be seeing red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets, all floating through my blood plasma. This blood plasma is what allows the transportation of your blood cells around your body. Blood plasma is made up of 90% water and consists of hormones, glucose, proteins, gases, electrolytes, and other nutrients. Interestingly, nearly 7% of your body weight is made up of blood, and blood plasma makes up around 55% of the total volume of blood. They can actually separate the blood plasma from your blood cells using a centrifuge device, which spins around really fast. The cells get collected at the bottom of the tube, while the blood plasma goes to the top, and bingo bango, we have separation, Captain. The purpose of doing this is it allows them to donate platelets, red blood cells, and your blood plasma separately. So why is blood red? Well, the reason the cells you're seeing are red is because they consist of hemoglobin, which is a protein that contains iron. The oxygen combines with the iron, and that's what gives the characteristic red colour in our blood. So, we're all just full of rusty blood juice. Unlike red blood cells, the white blood cells in our bodies are our defence system. They're responsible for fighting viruses, bacteria, and other infectious diseases, so I'm glad to have them. Then you've got your platelets, which are responsible for clotting your blood whenever you bleed out. They're our body's quick defense system that plug us up. They should call them pluglets. Anyone with me? No? Yes? No? Anyway, overall they're a good thing, just not when they clot up your blood vessels to your heart or your brain, as it can cause a heart attack or a stroke. But blood isn't just responsible for carrying oxygen around your body, but it also carries nutrients to the body cells and carries away unwanted waste material from other cells. Only the red blood cells in our body are the ones that are responsible for carrying around the oxygen. All of this blood is pumped through our body using our heart, which increases our blood pressure upon our blood vessels. Heads up, here's a fun fact. An adult body has around 100,000 kilometers or 60,000 miles of blood vessels running throughout the body. The circumference of the Earth is 40,000 kilometers or 25,000 miles. If all the blood vessels in the human body are placed end to end, they can wrap up around the world 2.5 times. End of fun facts. Most people have heard of the common blood types A, B, AB, O. In fact, there are actually around 30 different recognised blood groups. You can actually tell what type of blood group you are at home with one simple test. So here we go. Try this. Simply turn over your hand, palm facing towards you. Place your chin just below your wrist. Now, while in that position, if your tongue can reach the inside of your palm, you'll know what blood type you are. You will be IB positive. IB positive, you look ridiculous right now. Anyway, moving on. The volume of blood present in an adult body is about 5.6 litres, while a female body contains 4.5 litres on average, while a newborn baby will only have around 1 cup of blood. Blood consists of a special type of white blood cell known as a granulocyte. These cells roll along the blood vessel walls and hunt for bacteria. If they find any, they will kill them and destroy them. Platelets, plasma, red blood cells are all produced by your bone marrow inside your bones. In the body, red blood cells have to be newly produced rather than multiplying through cell division, because for a cell to undergo cell division, it requires a nucleus, which a red blood cell does not, which is why the red blood cell only has a lifespan of 120 days. As mentioned, red blood cells can be stored outside of the body for up to 42 days, donated platelets for 5 days, and donated blood plasma can actually be stored for 1 year if frozen. Let it go, let it go. No, wrong time. It takes up to 4 weeks to replace the number of red blood cells lost during a blood donation, and it takes up to 8 weeks to replace the amount of iron lost after the donation. This is why you can't donate blood twice in 8 weeks. You should consider donating your blood, as just 1 pint of blood is capable of saving 3 lives. Every 2 seconds, someone in the world will need blood. And this blood doesn't come cheap. The donated blood is actually sold on the market and collects around $4.5 billion a year. So there's a lot of value in your blood. But that's not the only value. In our bodies, there's about 0.2 milligrams of gold in it. But there's no point extracting them, so there's definitely no Netflix horror coming soon where the villain's factory farming humans for gold or something like that. Although, that does sound like a good watch. Netflix, hook me up. I'm just going to come out and say it. Let's talk pus. It's sticky, slimy, and we find it disgusting. But you don't need to, because it's actually nothing more than the collected white blood cells that have died fighting against the infection. So be grateful for it. Have some respect. Next time you see some pus on you, remember, it's a war hero. So, give it a salute. There's a reason why at the start of this video I said blood can be found in almost everywhere in your body. I said that because there's one place it can't. Wait for it. It's your eye. This is because the cornea is capable of directly extracting the oxygen from the air. And if you didn't know already, too much oxygen in your blood past your normal levels is dangerous. It's not just bacteria and viruses that want a piece of your blood. We all know the aggravation and sufferings of the mosquito, or as I like to call them, the mozzies. Have you ever been on holiday and been covered in bites and your friend or your partner just barely 1, 2, just really isn't? It's because the mosquitoes actually have a preference blood type. They prefer blood group O more than any other blood groups. So it's kind of true when your partner turns around to you on holiday and says, "Ooh, you must taste nice." Ugh. But you shouldn't worry about this unwarranted blood donation, as it would take 1.2 million mosquitoes all at once to suck you dry. Oh, not again. Daily blood newsflash: nearly 2 million red blood cells in an adult human body die every second. Aww. But not to worry, as 2 million new red blood cells are produced by the bone marrow every second. Yay! The average adult human body has between 20 and 30 trillion blood cells at any point pumping around, filtered by your kidneys, which filter more than 400 gallons of blood every single day. How does the body know when to produce blood and how much to produce? Well, the kidneys are responsible for regulating the production of red blood cells. The kidneys produce a hormone that binds to the receptors in the stem cell walls of your bone marrow and transforms them into red blood cells. Your kidneys will release this hormone only when the oxygen levels in your blood have gone down below normal levels. People who suffer from anemia are doing so because their kidneys are failing to produce enough of this hormone that is meant to stimulate the production of red blood cells in your bone marrow. Well, there you have it. I hope you found this insightful. Thank you for going along this journey with me into the life of blood, and I hope you plan on joining me through this epic adventure we plan on going through the microverse, where things are going to get just better and better on this channel. Let me know in the comments below what blood type you are, and let's see what most common blood type that pops up in the comments with you all. This video is actually sponsored by Subscribe for Hugs. Every one of your subscriptions gets a virtual hug, so press that button. I know you've got it in you.